Did your mom dress you? Why are you wearing the same?
Being out here.
You're wearing the same suits. Is one of you the stunt double of the other? You're the younger brother.
Yes.
By how much?
7 years.
7. Wow, that's significant.
Yeah.
That you need to moisturize.
Have you ever wondered if some of your favorite celebrities might be secretly related? In Hollywood, it's not uncommon for famous brothers to change their last names, making it nearly impossible for us to guess their familial connections.
We try to avoid that. I mean, I think naturally, like most families, if you're in the same profession, it's a big part of your life, so you do talk about it a bit.
These unexpected brotherly duos often work in different genres or take on diverse roles, making it even more challenging for us to uncover their connections.
Now see, that's what people are talking about. Kissing your own brother like that, it's a little weird.
From iconic TV stars to blockbuster movie heroes, here are some celebrity brothers you didn't know exist. RuPaul Charles and Cory Booker.
Oh my goodness. That is Cory Booker. Yeah. You and Cory Booker are DNA cousins.
The drag icon and the New Jersey senator are actually long-lost brothers who discovered their surprising connection in a truly shocking way. Growing up on opposite coasts, RuPaul in sunny San Diego and Booker as a lifelong East Coaster, these two had no idea they were related. That is, until they appeared on the PBS series Finding Your Roots and uncovered the jaw-dropping truth. In an episode of the show, RuPaul's DNA was compared to that of past guests, and lo and behold, there was a match, none other than Senator Booker himself. "He looks like my kin," RuPaul said in a clip from the show, noting Booker's undeniable intellect and the sweetness about him that he had always loved. "But every time I've ever seen him, he reminds me of my cousin Eula," RuPaul added with a chuckle.
He looks like my kin. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? We look, there's a sweetness about him that I've always loved and an intellect that is undeniable. But every time I've ever seen him, he reminds me of my cousin Eula. Really? Yeah.
Who knows what other surprising celebrity connections are out there just waiting to be uncovered? Jason Sudeikis and Went.
Hey, how you doing? This is Ted Lasso. I'm the new head coach of the Tottenham Hotspurs, and I'd like to talk to the Queen, please.
It turns out that Ted Lasso star Jason Sudeikis has some serious sitcom genes running in his family, thanks to none other than his famous uncle George Wendt.
What are you looking at, endomorph?
Nothing, sir.
You may remember George Wendt as the lovable Norm from the iconic sitcom Cheers, but what you may not have known is that he's been quietly influencing his nephew's career behind the scenes. According to the Chicago Tribune, Wendt continued to work in Chicago theater after his Cheers days, proving that the acting bug runs deep in their family. Sudeikis has been candid about the impact his uncle has had on his career. In an interview, he revealed, "He's always been very encouraging, but there was no Tuesdays with Maury kind of relationship between him and I." Despite their lack of heartwarming sit-downs, Wendt served as a shining example for Sudeikis that a career in acting was a viable option. "Here's a guy from the Midwest in my family who took the road less traveled and it worked out for him," Sudeikis shared. But it wasn't just moral support that Wendt provided. Sudeikis also joked about the advice his uncle gave him, saying, "The advice he gave me, and I say this jokingly, is get on one of the best sitcoms of all time and then ride it out." Well, it looks like Sudeikis took that advice to heart with the massive success of Ted Lasso. While the era of long-running TV shows like Cheers may be a thing of the past, Sudeikis is proving that he's got what it takes to carry on the family legacy. With Ted Lasso receiving rave reviews and winning over fans worldwide, it seems like Sudeikis is doing his uncle proud. Chris and Scott Evans. You may recognize Chris Evans as the iconic Captain America from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but did you know he has a brother? Meet Scott Evans, who may not be as famous as his superhero sibling, but he's made his mark in the entertainment industry as well. Scott is best known for his role as Oliver on the soap opera One Life to Live.
Didn't you get my letter? Yeah. Did you read it? Did you, Kyle? Oliver, the letter was a joke.
While Chris has been saving the world on the big screen, Scott has been captivating audiences on the small screen with his dramatic performances. But what really caught our attention is their off-screen antics. If you've been following the Evans brothers on Instagram, you'd know that they have a typical sibling relationship, complete with an ongoing prank war. From jumping out and scaring each other to pulling hilarious stunts, these brothers sure know how to keep things interesting. Their relationship is proof to the fact that no matter how famous or successful you are, at the end of the day, you're still just a sibling trying to one-up each other. Dennis and Randy Quaid. So, who are these elusive Quaid brothers? Well, they both share the same parents, a passion for the spotlight, and a knack for getting into some very public predicaments. Let's start with the younger of the two, Dennis.
So he and I would be in the trailer like every day.
This guy burst onto the scene in the 80s with roles in films like Inner Space, The Big Easy, and Great Balls of Fire. He was the heartthrob of the decade, but things took a turn in the 90s when he battled substance use disorder and eating disorder, and went through a messy divorce from America's sweetheart, Meg Ryan. Now, Randy. This guy made a name for himself back in the 70s and 80s, even snagging an Oscar nomination for his role in The Last Detail in 1973. But where he really stole the show was as Cousin Eddie in the National Lampoon's Vacation movies. Who could forget that iconic character? However, more recently, Randy has found himself in trouble with the law.
Start with the court date this week. Why did you miss it?
Well, I didn't miss the court date. I didn't have to.
It's safe to say that these two have had their fair share of ups and downs. From Hollywood heartthrob to legal woes, the Quaid brothers have certainly kept us entertained both on and off the screen. The Hemsworth brothers. While Chris and Liam Hemsworth have been stealing the spotlight with their good looks and acting chops,
weren't going to do a whole lot, and then the nature of the shoot, allowed us to do a lot more than we thought.
It's time to shine a light on the forgotten brother, Luke Hemsworth. We all know Chris as the Mighty Thor and Liam as the heartthrob from the Hunger Games, but what about Luke? Well, he may not be as famous as his younger siblings, but he's definitely got the Hemsworth charm. With those piercing blue eyes and rugged good looks, it's clear that the talent runs strong in this family.
David Frigeria, the writer and one of the producers, tried to explain it to me so many times.
While Chris and Liam have been making waves in Hollywood, Luke has been quietly making a name for himself in his own right. Sure, he may not have landed the lead roles in blockbuster movies, but he's been holding his own with appearances in films like Thor, The Dark World, and Thor: Ragnarok. It's time we give credit where credit is due and acknowledge that the Hemsworth gene pool runs deep. So next time you're swooning over Chris or Liam, remember that there's a third Hemsworth brother out there, quietly making his mark in the entertainment industry. Who knows, maybe one day he'll step out of the shadows and steal the spotlight for himself. After all, with genes like that, it's only a matter of time before the world takes notice of the forgotten Hemsworth brother. The brothers of Tom Holland. We all know Tom Holland as the charismatic and talented actor who swings through the city as Spider-Man.
It's kind of a dream role for me and a perfect fit, so I'm very excited to figure it out and see if we can make it happen. But I will dust off the tap shoes and get going again.
But did you know that he's not the only one in his family with a flair for the dramatic? In fact, Tom has not one, not two, but three younger brothers who have also made their mark in the entertainment industry. First up, we have the dynamic duo of Sam and Harry, who are not just your average twins. While Harry has appeared in several movies alongside his famous brother, including notable films like The Impossible and Spider-Man: No Way Home, he's also tried his hand at directing with the short film Roses for Lily. And if that's not impressive enough, he's even collaborating with Tom on a movie project, proving that talent definitely runs in the family. While Harry is making waves in the movie business, his twin brother Sam has taken a different path and pursued a career as a chef. According to Tom, Sam even served as a personal chef during the filming of Spider-Man 2, whipping up delicious meals for the cast and crew. Last, but certainly not least, we have the youngest Holland brother, Paddy, who is following in the footsteps of his older siblings with his own acting career. From appearing in Harry's directorial debut to landing roles in popular TV series like Invasion and Lockwood and Company, Paddy is carving out his own path in the entertainment world. Despite their individual pursuits, one thing is clear. The Holland brothers are a tight-knit bunch who wholeheartedly support each other. Whether they're gracing the red carpet together or sharing candid moments on social media, it's evident that their bond is as strong as ever. Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez's connection. In a shocking revelation, it turns out that the infamous bad boy of Hollywood, Charlie Sheen, and the beloved 80s heartthrob, Emilio Estevez, are actually brothers. Yes. These two Hollywood heavyweights share the same DNA, despite their different last names, so how did this family secret stay hidden for so long? Well, it all goes back to their father, Martin Sheen, who was born Ramon Estevez. When he entered the entertainment industry, he decided to adopt the stage name Sheen for his career.
I met a woman who I'd like to see again socially. Now, how is that different from what Wilson did?
As a result, all 4 of his children were given the last name Estevez on their birth certificates. However, when it came time for Charlie to make his mark in showbiz, he chose to take on the Sheen moniker, following in his father's footsteps. Meanwhile, Emilio decided to stick with the family name, hoping to carve out his own path in the acting world. And of course, he succeeded. From iconic 80s films like The Breakfast Club to his recent directorial ventures, Emilio has certainly made a name for himself in Hollywood. But the real question is, how did we not know about this celebrity sibling duo sooner? These two have been in the spotlight for decades, yet their familial connection remained under the radar. Now that the cat's out of the bag, we can't help but wonder what other celebrity siblings are flying under the radar. Only time will tell. But for now, we'll be keeping an eye out for any more long-lost celebrity brothers making their debut in the spotlight. The secret brother of Hallie Eisenberg. You may know Hallie Eisenberg as the adorable face of Pepsi in the late 90s and early 2000s. But did you know she has a famous brother? Yes, it's true. Her brother is none other than Jesse Eisenberg, the talented actor best known for his role as Mark Zuckerberg in the acclaimed 2010 film The Social Network.
I believe I pointed out some pretty gaping holes in your system.
While Jesse may have stolen the spotlight with his Oscar-nominated performance,
try to control something that's a lot easier than people.
Hallie was already capturing hearts with her roles in the 1998 movie Paulie and as the iconic Pepsi Girl. Who would have thought that the curly-haired spokesgirl who charmed us with her Pepsi commercials would be related to a Hollywood star? Despite taking a step back from acting in recent years, Hallie's early success undoubtedly paved the way for her big brother's rise to fame. It's clear that talent runs in the Eisenberg family, and we can't help but wonder what other surprises they have in store for us. Liev and Pablo Schreiber. Sure, you may recognize Liev Schreiber from his captivating performance in Ray Donovan, but did you ever stop to think that he's actually connected to the talented actor Pablo Schreiber? That's right, these two share more than just a last name. As it turns out, Liev and Pablo are half-brothers, both born to the same father, the one and only Tell Carol Schreiber. And in case you didn't know, dear old dad was also an actor, so it seems that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in this family. With a 10-year age gap between them, these two didn't exactly grow up sharing bunk beds and fighting over the TV remote, but that hasn't stopped them from supporting each other's careers in the cutthroat world of showbiz. In fact, they even teamed up for a film back in 2004, starring together in the remake of The Manchurian Candidate. Bernie Sanders and Larry David. You may think you know all there is to know about your favorite celebrities, but sometimes the most surprising connections come to light. In this case, we're talking about Bernie Sanders and Larry David.
It's a revolution, Jane. Millions of people. If we have a good turnout, we can win Iowa.
These two powerhouses are actually brothers. And the best part? They didn't even realize it themselves until they appeared on the show Finding Your Roots. Bernie Sanders, the well-known American politician and senator from Vermont, is famous for his progressive policies and his run for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States.
That the working class of this country, a working class that has long been forgotten, needs to hear.
On the other hand, Larry David is a comedic genius, celebrated for co-creating the iconic TV show Seinfeld and for his role in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I understand you were a little upset that I didn't give you a tip.
The revelation of their familial connection came as a shock to both men, but it didn't stop there. The PBS series not only uncovered their shared ancestry, but also revealed that they are distant cousins with over 97% Ashkenazi Jewish heritage. What makes this discovery even more incredible is the fact that Larry David famously parodied Bernie Sanders on Saturday Night Live during the 2016 presidential election. Who would have thought that he was poking fun at his own flesh and blood? In an interview, David shared that his mother had kept much of their family history under wraps, leaving him with little knowledge about his own roots. He even admitted to not realizing that his mother was older than his father until after her passing. It's a mystery that has puzzled him for years. Who knows what other secrets are lurking in their family tree? Bill and Alexander Skarsgård. Bill Skarsgård is the mastermind behind the bone-chilling portrayal of Pennywise in the It films. If you've managed to sleep soundly after watching his spine-tingling performance, then kudos to you. This guy has a knack for sending shivers down our spines, and we can't get enough of it. And then there's Alexander Skarsgård, who has graced our screens with his captivating presence in hit shows like True Blood and Big Little Lies. Let's be real, who hasn't swooned over this heartthrob's mesmerizing performances? It's like he was born to steal the spotlight. These two heartthrobs didn't just stumble into the limelight on their own. They come from a bloodline of acting royalty.
Oh, I never take the stairs. I usually take the curtains.
Their father is none other than the esteemed Swedish actor Stellan Skarsgård. You might recognize him from his unforgettable roles in films like Good Will Hunting and Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not every day that we uncover a duo of celebrity siblings with such an impressive pedigree. The Skarsgård family's talent seems to be genetically ingrained, with each brother carving out his own niche in the industry while proudly carrying on the family legacy. James Arness and Peter Graves. In a shocking revelation, it turns out that the classic television stars James Arness and Peter Graves are not just Hollywood icons, but also brothers.
Special visitors. Would you like to have it?
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sure. You ever been in a cockpit before?
These two legendary actors share more than just good looks and talent. They share the same bloodline. You might recognize James Arness as the iconic Marshal Matt Dillon from the long-running TV series Gunsmoke, a show that dominated American television for a whopping 2 decades. And if that wasn't enough star power for one family, his younger brother Peter Graves made a name for himself as the suave Jim Phelps in the legendary series Mission Impossible. Now, you might be wondering how you missed this crucial piece of celebrity trivia. It turns out that Peter was actually the younger brother, following James by 3 years. Their journey to stardom began at Southwest High School in Minneapolis, where they were not only academically inclined, but also excelled in various extracurricular activities. Peter's prowess as a champion hurdler and member of the choir complemented James's achievements as a sports star and musician. But when the brothers decided to embark on their acting careers, they made a strategic move to avoid any confusion with other performers.
Good. Now look, you're going to get out of here right away?
I sure am. It's no fun getting shot at.
It's the truth, isn't it?
James opted to drop the U from his last name, hence becoming Arness, while Peter chose to adopt Graves as his surname, a nod to their maternal family lineage. According to sources, Peter's decision to honor his mother's family with the name Graves was also driven by the fact that it exuded a more serious and distinguished aura compared to Arness. Lily Allen's brother. We all love a good celebrity sibling revelation, and this one is no exception. In the world of pop music, Lily Allen is a force to be reckoned with. But did you know she has a little brother who has made his mark in the world of acting? Meet Alfie Allen, the lesser-known sibling of the Smile singer. Back in 2006, Lily released a catchy tune called Alfie, where she affectionately nudged her younger brother to get his act together and find a job. Little did she know that this playful song would indirectly lead to a major character in the hit TV series Game of Thrones. Yes, Alfie Allen joined the cast as Theon Greyjoy in 2011, and the rest is history.
Ironborn warriors will cry out our names as they leap onto the shores of Seaguard and Faircastle.
While Game of Thrones fans may have been captivated by Alfie's portrayal of Theon Greyjoy, they might not have realized that he is the same Alfie from Lily Allen's cheeky song. And to top it off, Alfie's talent didn't go unnoticed. He even snagged an Emmy nomination for his performance in 2019. The Wilson brothers. When it comes to Hollywood's leading men, Owen Wilson is a name that resonates with audiences worldwide. Known for his charismatic performances in hit movies like Wedding Crashers, Zoolander, and The Royal Tenenbaums, Owen has solidified his status as a beloved actor in the entertainment industry. But what many people don't realize is that Owen Wilson is not the only talented sibling in the family. In fact, he has 2 brothers who have also made their mark in the movie business, Luke and Andrew Wilson. While the spotlight has often been on Owen and Luke, Andrew Wilson has been quietly carving out his own path in the industry. Despite being overshadowed by his more famous brothers, Andrew's wit and charm have not gone unnoticed by those who have had the pleasure of seeing his work. Andrew's sense of humor shines through in his interviews, where he candidly discusses what it's like to live in the shadows of his brothers. But make no mistake, Andrew is a force to be reckoned with in his own right. In fact, he was the first of the Wilson brothers to pursue a career in acting. But it's not just their professional achievements that make the Wilson brothers stand out, it's their unwavering support for each other during personal challenges. When Owen faced a well-documented struggle with mental health, both Luke and Andrew were there to offer their love and support, proving that their bond goes beyond just being siblings. In interviews, Owen has expressed nothing but admiration and affection for his brothers, often referring to them as his best friends. Their close-knit relationship is evidence of the strong family ties that have helped them navigate the ups and downs of life in the public eye. Angelina Jolie's older brother. While the world was busy fawning over Angelina's red carpet appearances and Hollywood success, her brother James has been lurking in the shadows, sharing her sharp cheekbones, piercing blue eyes, and full lips. It turns out he's not just a doppelganger for the famous actress, but also shares her passions for film, human rights, and family. James Haven made a rare appearance on a podcast in January 2024 where he spilled some tea about his protective nature towards his sister and her 6 children. Who knew this elusive brother had such a strong bond with Angelina? But wait, there's more. Back in 2000, when Angelina won the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role in Girl, Interrupted, and what she did on the red carpet shocked the world, she kissed her brother on the lips. And if that wasn't eyebrow-raising enough, she declared her love for him during her acceptance speech.
And I'm so in love with my brother right now. He just held me and said he loved me, and I know he's so happy for me.
Talk about sibling love taken to a whole new level. In a tearful moment, Angelina professed, "Jamie, I have nothing without you. You are the bravest, strongest man I've ever known. Thank you. I love you so much." Fast forward 2 years later, and Angelina had to do some damage control. In an interview with Vogue, she clarified that when she said she was in love with her brother, it was just an expression. Well, maybe we can all breathe a sigh of relief now. The 4th Jonas brother. Just when you thought you knew everything about the Jonas brothers, along comes a surprising revelation. There's a 4th brother, Frankie Jonas. While he may not have been part of the iconic Jonas Brothers band, young Frankie has carved out his own path to success. Going by the name Franklin, this lesser-known Jonas sibling has been making waves in the music industry with his unique sound that sets him apart from his famous brothers. So why wasn't Frankie a part of the Jonas Brothers band, you ask? Well, it turns out that he was just a bit too young to join his older siblings at the time. With a 7-year age gap between Frankie and Nick, it's no surprise that he was left out of the band's lineup. In fact, when the Disney film Camp Rock catapulted the Jonas Brothers to stardom in 2008, Frankie would have been just 7 years old. While his older brothers were belting out hits on stage, young Frankie was probably busy perfecting his craft and preparing for his own shot at the spotlight. James, Dave, and Tom Franco. Meet Tom Franco, the middle child of the Franco trio, who has been quietly making a name for himself in the art world. While James and Dave have been stealing the spotlight in Hollywood, Tom has been carving out his own niche as an artist, sculptor, and painter.
And on Get Lit, we meet local writers and today artists who are contributing to the East Bay's arts and culture scene.
It's like the Franco family is a triple threat of talent. Tom may not have the same level of fame as his brothers, but that doesn't mean he's any less talented. In fact, some might argue that he's the most creative of the bunch. While James and Dave are busy memorizing lines and hitting their marks, Tom is busy creating stunning works of art that speak to the soul. His sculptures and paintings have been displayed in galleries all over the world, and he's even collaborated with other renowned artists on various projects. It's safe to say that Tom is making a name for himself outside of the Franco shadow. So why haven't we heard much about Tom until now? Well, it seems like he's content to let his work speak for itself. While his brothers are busy attending red carpet events and making headlines, Tom is content to stay out of the spotlight and focus on his art. It's a refreshing change of pace in a world where everyone is clamoring for attention. Samantha, Charlotte, and Mark Ronson. We all know about the famous Ronson siblings, Samantha and Charlotte, who have made a name for themselves in the fashion and music industry. But did you know that there's another Ronson sibling who's been quietly making waves in the music scene? Meet Mark Ronson, the not-so-popular brother of Samantha and Charlotte. While Samantha and Charlotte have been busy carving out their own niches in the fashion world, Mark has been quietly building a successful career as a musician and producer. With his distinctive style and impressive musical talent, Mark has earned a reputation as one of the industry's most innovative and influential figures. Despite their different career paths, the Ronson siblings share a deep bond and a mutual respect for each other's talents.
I gotta talk about your family, because you've got 3 siblings, all 3 of them, including yourself. I have 9 siblings. Or 9 siblings, but 3 of them, the talent
3
level.
of them matter.
Well, that was the best show.
Samantha often provides the playlists for Charlotte's runway shows and spins at her after parties, adding a touch of musical flair to her sister's fashion events. Meanwhile, Mark has collaborated with both Samantha and Charlotte on various projects, showcasing the family's collective creative prowess. As fraternal twins, Samantha and Charlotte have always had a special connection that goes beyond their shared DNA. Their close relationship has not only shaped their individual careers, but has also led to numerous collaborative ventures that have garnered attention from both the fashion and music worlds. Together, they have proven that talent truly runs in the Ronson family. So, the next time you're admiring your favorite celebrity, remember they might have siblings who are definitely making their mark in the entertainment industry. With their talent, charm, and dedication to their craft, these celebrity siblings are definitely ones to watch out for. Who knows, they might just become the next big thing in Hollywood.